Hello guys, what's up? This is Scher talking. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about Romancing Saga Universe. We'll be talking about news, a new upcoming banner, some upcoming events, and also some data mined because the game got an update today that included a lot of stuff that will be released on Reset. So first of all, let's just talk about the banner. We are now starting something called Romancing Award Festival. This is a special event that happened in Japan with 3 different banners where they were celebrating the game and different styles, limited styles actually. And now we are starting this on the global version with some difference. They are using the Romancing Saga 3 characters that were included on award banners and changing the order of release because this is the only banner that only has Romancing Saga 3 characters. And we are celebrating the 25th anniversary of Romancing Saga 3 release. That will happen tomorrow. I also have some news about this anniversary. I will start a Let's Play series and I want to do something about it, like ask the community which character they want me to start playing. So stay up with me. I'll be releasing a video tomorrow talking about this. Let's just celebrate the Saga series together with this release. And what they did is just that, like I said, they changed the order. This was supposed to be the 3rd award banner. Well, and now we are on Romancing Saga website. We can see the first award banner. There's this different style for SS Mikhail, SS Monica, and SS Final Empress. Final Empress is very nice. She has healing and also a passive that increases her strength every time that she gets healed. So it's interesting, it's a different mechanic. But I think that both Final Empress and Monica, even if they are very nice, they are still kinda something that you don't really need. You can skip if you want. But then we have the second award banner that has Silver Dragon, Nadart, and Claudia. Nadart is interesting, but because it adds an inheritance from his future style, and Silver is a slash damage dealer that gets access to elemental attacks. She has 2 different elemental attacks, but you kinda need to just pursue at least 2 of her different styles. And that's a little of a problem if you want to summon here, because this banner doesn't have anything that's so important. Well, but the 3rd banner has a meta character. We have Award 3rd Romancing Festival here. There's Sarah, Ellen, and Thomas. As you may see, they are all characters from Romancing Saga 3. And this Thomas here is very unique for some stuff. I still don't think that he's perfect, but he's a very interesting character to have, especially for the content that we have right now in the game that's hard, like the Hidden Dojo. I'll explain a little why. So this will not be a full review, but actually a preview of those styles so that you can decide if you want to summon or not. Thoma is meta because of something unique. He is one of the few characters that want to be hybrid. You can already see it on this image, they are very similar, 208 for strength and 209 for intelligence. So you can kinda build him towards any types, but not exactly, because let's just give a look on the attacks that he has access to. The first one is Insightness Needle, that can reduce the enemy endurance. It's a very good spammable thing. If you already have like Teacher Yunjin, you don't need this, but not as important as STR, Agility, or Intelligence debuffs. And the 2nd and 3rd skills are actually spells, so it uses elemental damage. Delta Petra is one of the few attacks in the game that can inflict Petrify. Petrify is the most overpowered debuff in the game because, different from Confusion, Charm, and Paralyze, it lasts 5 turns instead of 4 turns. But there's a problem with this because it always has a very bad chance to inflict. You see, a small chance only. And there are a lot of enemies on the Hidden Dojo that are not immune to Petrify, but they are immune to Charm, or Paralyze, or Stun. And this is like a way to make this content easier. But just Hidden Dojo, because I don't think that he's good enough for Zui Coliseum, and maybe some challenges, depends on the type of challenges you are talking about. If you summon it for Halloween Vampire Lady, you already have a character that can help you with the Hidden Dojo, but if you didn't, maybe this guy will help you. But not only that, but in the future, a very recent style for Thomas gets a passive that can petrify. The 2nd skill here has this 25% chance of petrifying a target when hit. That's the same type of passive that we have with Halloween Vampire Lady, but this style is very, very, very far in the future. It's like past week release on Japan. So the thing is, this future style do not have Tetrapelta. he needs that Delta Petra to do his job better. So that's why you kind of need both to have the best way to petrify enemies in the future. But this version of Thomas is already good enough, in my opinion. Even if you ignore the Delta Petra, Super Gravity is his last skill, triple S damage, very high damage. It's a spell as well, so it uses intelligence, just like Delta Petra. It has a chance of decreasing the agility, not that it's so important in this character. But it's a very high damage. It inflicts blunt damage, guys. Remember, Earth spells deals blunt damage. So we have lots of styles that can do blunt damage. That's kind of a competition, but he is used on formations that increases intelligence. At least with this style. You can still inherit some other attacks by his other styles, like, say, he has access to Brain Splitter. That is this one here, that debuffs intelligence from enemy as well. I think this is the best choice, because this other one here has a chance to paralyze Meteor Opposition. I don't know what's the name of this on the global version. And it's not so strong, but it's useful. That is if you want to get your Thomas to the front lines on formations that increases STR instead of intelligence. But Thomas is just like a joker. You can also place him in formations that do not increase either STR or intelligence, because his intelligence is super high and he can still petrify without relying on formations. But there's another thing that we need to talk. Thomas as himself is outclassed in the future by another style. Yes, another style will be able to petrify better than him, but different from Thomas that gets another style to make petrify even better, this other style will not have access to this. Let's just go here. It's an age from Saga Scarlet Grace called Talia. And let's just give a look on Talia. She has this attack here called Arita Petra that uses one less BP, has the same small chance of inflicting petrify, and she is easier to use in formations that increases intelligence. Her intelligence is even higher, kinda way higher than Thomas, and she also gets access to healing spells if you get her another style. And the other style is a platinum style, so you only need one premium style to get a very good chance of inflicting petrify. But remember, this one doesn't have access to a future style that can petrify by passive, and she can only petrify by skills. The good thing about this style is that she will be released, that is if Global do not change anything, alongside an amazing banner that has the best Rock Bouquet, the best T260G, an overpowered Acelus, and her. So this is one of the best banners in the game. So if you decide to skip Thomas, you still have this option for Petrify. But this banner is still a little far away, in my opinion, like at least 2 months away from now. While Thomas can help you right now with your hidden dojo problems if you're having many. Well, and for passives, we have something not so interesting with this Thomas. There's Uplifting, this other that gives him Stealth, and then Fired Up 4. It's not so interesting. He's more about Petrified and increasing damage. So this is also a preparation for his final future SS style that will be way better than this one. You can even give a look on this because, well, it's super strong. He has access to a spell that can do 3 or 5 attacks, blunt damage, and this can be used on turn 1. He is amazing. He also has one that is based on STR, because he also has a good STR alongside this new style. They are kind of similar in this regard. He's still a Joker that can be placed on front lines or the back lines. And now on this future style, his intelligence is more similar to the older mage we were comparing him to. So yeah, this is more about meta pooling than just having the perfect character right now. It depends, like I said, if you are having problems with the hidden dojo. So, my opinion, this Thomas is like a 9.0 out of 10, especially because of Petrify, but it's a 9.0 out of 10 that you can skip, right? That's the whole reason that I was talking about Summer Salmon in my past videos, where you can decide if you want the character or not. Well, let's just get now to the second important style in this banner, and it's Yunjin. She has a very unique name for the community. They call her Stun Undine, or just Stundine, because she's the queen of stun. But there's another catch. This character alone by herself may not be the best inflictor of stun, but she at least works without relying on a future style. But with the case of Yunjin, she kinda has 3 different styles that have some different focuses and one just complements the another. We had the teacher Yunjin, that's a very good mage with an AoE attack that's very cheap, ice javelins that can also decrease endurance from your enemies, and stun Yunjin. It's just awesome. Let's just give a look on her status. It's very high. She has kind of similar intelligence to teacher Yunjin. A little more STR, I don't know why. And all the other stats are kind of similar. The total is the same still, yes, but the intelligence is kind of the same. She's a little faster because she needs to be fast, because the stun, to be reliable, needs very fast characters. So let's just give a look on her attacks. There's this Bubble Snap, it's the first attack. That's the one that is overpowered. You see, there's a large chance to inflict stun. It's the highest one. It's just like using Shadow Chains with Rouge. You know that it almost always lands. And the good thing about mages being the buffers is just that intelligence increases the rate of a success. That's why Rouge is busted. Then we don't use characters that can paralyze with physical attacks often, because they often miss. And then we have a mage that can just give stun to enemies. It's very fast and has that with a very high chance. In a hidden dojo, there are enemies that are resistant against paralyze, charm, sometimes even petrify, but they are not resistant against stun. So you can stun lock the enemy because it's also spammable. It's only 4 BP, can be reduced to 3. A very nice thing. Not only that, she also has access to Water Hammer, that can be reduced to 6, and decreases the intelligence from enemy. It's just like the same thing as the value from Mirage Stab, from Acelus, and also Brain Splitter, but with a decreased cost compared to Brain Splitter, that it's 9. This time it's only 8, can be reduced to 6, so 1 attack every 2 turns. Not only that, this attack also includes blunt damage. It's blunt and cold and far. It cannot be counter-attacked. It's an amazing attack that not many characters have access to. The only problem is that the future style from Yunjin also has it. You can already see here, same attack. But this one is more of a mixed bag, while Stun Yunjin is just like a specialist for stun. But without being like Summer Jamil that tried to be just stun and forgot about every other stuff, being a terrible damage dealer, while Yunjin can do very good damage, because it's always based on intelligence. Well, the other attack is Sun Dark Wrap. I don't know how they will translate. This is not so strong, but it hits every enemy with a chance to inflict stun. It's small, okay, but it's every enemy. Maybe some stages will get easier if you use this. The damage is not so high as well, but well, you can see that she has 2 different chances of inflicting stun. But not only these attacks, we can see that her A and S style already had stuff like stun. Yeah, Cyclone Squeeze can also stun. So that will be also useful if you only want a single target to deal damage and with a stun chance. But like I said, if you want to stun lock an enemy, just use Bubble Snap. But maybe you can start with Cyclone Squeeze and just keep cycling between Bubble Snap if you already have a character that can debuff intelligence. And now for passives, she has this one that increases her intelligence on the beginning of a turn. It's better than just increasing when you attack, because it will affect turn 1. And it's 25% chance to increase 20%. That also increases her chance to stun. There's Fire the 4 in Metal Attenuation. This is amazing because it's in the beginning of the wave and decreases the will of all enemies. So even more chance to inflict a stun, because will affects the buff's resistance. It is not a very high value, it's only 5%. That's the reason why you kind of want in the future to get either Bubble Snap or Sun Dark Wrap into her future style. But I think that the important thing is Bubble Snap, because like I said, it's spammable and can cycle between this forever to stun lock an enemy. Her future style is just very interesting because it has healing as well, a better version of Water of Life that also increases endurance. It's a little more costly as well. And yeah, this future style has better passives because it also raises intelligence and will when she's healing. She also has a chance to recover HP. She's more about, like I said, a mixed bag. She tries to be the best of all of her styles, and you can just inherit one of the best styles skills to just make this version better. So yeah, this is amazing. I think that this is like, oh man, another 9.0 out of 10. It is the best stun inflictor for stun lock in the game. Well, there's another style that will also be able to stun lock enemies in the future. It's a freestyle of Missile Team. And this one also has access to Bubble Snap. That's the only thing that stuns here. It's a character that you will also be using a lot if you're planning to summon for an AoE healer. We don't have another style that can do this, just a premium style for Missile Team. And with this inheritance, she will also be able to stun, because you'll probably be using this style instead of the free one. But it's also a very good thing. I don't know if you can comment all that much. We have other characters that can inflict stun by passives, but they don't have a huge chance to inflict paralyze. The other character that can do this is not easy to find, will be very far in the future, and it is Madeline. And Madeline can do it with one attack that's a little costly. You can see here, it's this one here. It uses 8 BP once you fully awaken. So she has a chance to also inflict stun with attacks. But, well, I think it will depend on how you play, because she doesn't have many stun attacks that has a good chance to inflict stun. This one is medium. And we have, yeah, only medium chance. We don't have any large chance to inflict stun besides this last skill. But then, if you are also thinking about stun locking, this is another alternative. She also stuns with a row of enemies, but not AoE. Yeah, you need another style for this. You have to inherit... yeah, inheritance is super important in this game. You have to inherit this attack here, called Lonely Moon, and then have a good chance to inflict stun by passive, and not by the skill, because the skill itself only deals slash and lightning damage. This is one of the best characters in the game, in my opinion, because it's slash and lightning, and she's kind of a physical version of mages that we use currently in the game, that starts with an 8 BP attack and then just use a 4 BP 2 times, like Blue or like Kongmei. So I think that this stun Yunjin is also worth summon, like Thomas. You can skip, yes you can. It depends on the amount of gens that you have. So now we talk about another style. Let's just talk about this Ellen, because this Ellen here is interesting, but it's not the final style of this character. She has a lot of different styles, but they are all about damage. Some of them have like different damage, like blunt. Even blunt, she can produce blunt damage. But this version here is replaced by her future 2 styles. These last 2 styles are way better than this one, but at least this style here has access to an area of attack that's not full AoE, but is enemy vertical line, and will still work in some stages where the enemy formations are always on vertical line. Oki Cut is also very nice to deal damage, just like this one, but this one here is not so strong. I think you can just inherit from her Platinum style a triple S damage that is better. She has this one thing here that she gets more STR by attacking, more damage when her HP is full, and fired up as well. But her future styles have better STR, or sometimes better agility. You can see here, yeah, more agility, more STR, at least this one here. And one of them even have a blunt damage. Let's just check the attacks that she gets access to. There is, oh man, let's see, the beach version has attack with blunt as well. And a future style that got released in the past week also has access to full AoE damage. So, you don't really need this attack that is a row of enemies. You can just wait to the future, but man, it's a very far future. It was released on the past week on the Japanese version of the game, and they are like 1 year ahead of us. And in my opinion, she's like a 7 out of 10. Good style that can deal very good damage, but is still not perfect. The passives are not the best case. Well, and you may only summon this girl if you want inheritance. Oki Cut and Slash are good inheritance for future styles. Oki Cut is just like an attack that you can use every 2 turns and gives more damage to Blunt. And there may be some stages where you may have this as a good following. And now let's just talk about Sarah. So let's just give a look on Sarah's status. This is the style that we'll be getting, and it has okay dexterity and agility, 80% on dexterity, 83% on agility. But remember, formations that increase dex are usually decreasing agility, so this doesn't really matter all that much. And well, let's just give a look on her skills, because well, a character lives and dies by the skills. The first one is Arrow in the Sun. D power, not so high, at least its shape. 4 BP. It's Pierce plus some damage, so that gives you some options. So the power is D, And it's kind of close to C power because 13 is still D and C starts with 15. Not so bad actually because of the coast. The second skill is not so good in my opinion. Flash Arrow is very weak. D power with 11 multiplier, but it has a chance to inflict darkness. But darkness doesn't really help in this game, so this attack here is bad. And $1 million is the last skill, is just very bad as well. Is A power, hold enemy, okay, all enemies, but it's just too costly, 15. It's kind of prohibitive to use. And now about her passive, she increases dexterity on the start of a turn. There's fired up only 3, and weakness concentration. So it's 25% damage increase on all times and a chance to increase dexterity on start of a turn. It's okay, but it's nothing incredible. She is not so good. I think she's like a 5 out of 10 because the second and the third skill are actually bad. Only the first one is interesting and worth for inheritance. And a future style for Sarah is way better. It has better skills like Rapid Volley for AoE damage. She also has 1000 Needles. It's a very high damage for an 8 PP that can be reduced to 6. And also Phoenix Arrow. It's an attack that can also recover HP, and it recovers by very values, like recovery power of 25. Very nice to have this on a character. And it's also sun damage. It's both sun and pierce. So although it's not so strong, it has something that increases her sustainability against bosses. And well, she also has this, reduces damage on full HP because she can keep healing. But now let's just get back to other stuff because we are running out of time. This video will be very long. So, my opinion on this banner, guys, it's a good banner. We have a good inheritance with Ellen for now. Even though in the future she do not need this style at all. And Thomas and Yunjin that can be useful now if you have problems with Hidden Dojo. They are both meta styles, and Thomas is a meta pool because if you want to get the future style of him, you can just get this one right now, or maybe in the future when this banner returns. Guys, I said it's worth summoning for Yunjin or Thomas, but they are still half the banner. Not all characters are worth summoning here. So think twice about summoning here. Unless you have a lot of gems, it may not be worth summoning for you, because I think that either on the end of November or the start of December we'll have very good banners. We'll still have Unseen Genie to summon for. She is for this year. They may release the first anniversary banners from the Japanese version that has the protagonists before the end of the year. There's Christmas. So, like I said, there are alternatives. Think well before deciding. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't. And, well, if you want to support this small channel, just do so by either using the Patreon, Coffee, or PayPal buttons here in the description. We see each other on the next one. Bye.